I made it over here. Fire Marshal bell went off. I mean, it says Marshall on his truck. I mean, literally, I was trying to wait till this sound go off, but it's Wednesday. It went off at 12, and clearly it's still going off at 12:02 or 12:03 when I. But I'm over here at Lifeline Church on Pennsylvania Street and shit. Like, now I understand what that fucking bell means, because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing today, and hopefully y'all hear that emergency sound, because you know that came from one source. Literally, I'm talking about as soon as I hit the corner by the bell, it went off. Literally, we at Lifeline Church. I made it to the corner of Teasley in Pennsylvania, and it kind of went away. Literally, like, you know, everything has a reason, and there's no coincidences and stuff. And I keep telling y'all I know who I am and everything, and there's something strange coming over here when I walk over here in this area now across the street, because you know the chicken got across the street, and it's the Southmount Church. Now off of Pennsylvania Street, you know, it dead ends. It's not a through street and stuff, and they made that clear with these signs over here. And you know, Pennsylvania Penn, so the you know Declaration of Independence and stuff. You know, all these stories that we've been told in history came from a sorcerer. Speedy Gutlers just passed me, like, you know, because we all are linked to one motherfucking source, the true life. You hear me? That truck said true life. So anyway, I'm just pointing out the obvious because I want y'all to walk with me and stuff, because I was actually headed to the library because the program that I'm under is getting ready to end. They ran out of funding, and it's because I can't find a full-time damn job with this record I have, you know. They making me revamp my resume, and I'm gonna send it out again and try it again, you know. Cause, you know, with my resume being 3 pages right now, they wanted me to decrease it to 1 and, you know, just highlight my background and stuff in a different manner. So I'm gonna do that and see if this will get me a full-time job, which the resume is not the issue. It's the background that's the issue. And I've been applying to jobs, trying to get a job full-time, because I already got a part-time, but it's very part-time, you know, for the last, this is 4 years now. And since I cannot get my record expunged right now, well, actually, clearly not ever, apparently, that's what they said, but I can get it like where they can't find it, but it won't be able to be expunged, supposedly. But anyway, I can't do that until next year. And so, because the program that I'm under with housing ends, because it was only temporary, they're trying to find me something, you know, that I can sustain myself and get back to, you know, taking care of myself and my son. Why on Wednesdays, hump day, you know, at 12 o'clock, this emergency bell always rang. And I think it is every week Wednesday. Never understood that. But because, like I said, I know who I am. And now we're at Sam Houston. We got a problem. This is elementary school, Sam Houston. You know. Anyway, so because I know who I am, I understand why, especially with divine timing and everything, and what street I was on and where I was headed to, because I'm headed to the library, you know, off of Sundown Street. Literally, it's called Sundown, and I'm gonna show y'all shit on the map. And really, the library is like right here, literally past the playground because they play too damn much after Sam Houston. And like I said, it's next to the fire station too, y'all, just to let y'all know. And I think that's fire station number 9, I think. Anyway. Just to give you, it's a 4 square right here. Because they got us in boxes and shit. But anyway, this will give y'all a little picture of what this looks like. That's the fire station, literally right there where all this is leading to. That's the library right there. And that literally is called Sundown Street or Road or Lane or whatever. But it has a little canal, a little doobity-doo over here off after this field, you know, the mini playground, then field, soccer field, and all that stuff. I don't know what that is. I guess a soccer goal, whatever. There's a lot of fields around here. You know, I know y'all heard that confirmation. But anyway, you see that little thing that's in the little teepee in the air or whatever. Now that street right there, literally is called Moon Sail. So this is sundown and this is Moon Sail. Y'all, I'm gonna show y'all this shit on the map. Look like up close, it's fenced in because it's high some shit. It says warning, no trespassing and stuff. And the other side look like this, and it has like something like a chimney right there in the middle of it. But anyway, and then this kind of semi fenced in, but this is fire station number 6, my bad, not 9. But you know what they do with the 6s and the 9s and stuff, you know, just, and then it's a little like houses and stuff back there, which is weird, but you know, and it's a water thing, and you can tell because it's a water line, literally. I don't know if y'all can see that from here, but that's a water stripe, and it leads literally to a lake or a little pond or something back there. And it's weird because I caught it one day. But anyway, like I said, this is off of Teasley because, you know, Teasley do a T as well, you know, like the Jesus Cross symbol and shit. And it turned into Lillian Miller. This is Teasley down this way. Lillian Miller is down that way and leads to Loop 288. Fire station number 6. And that is literally off of Sundown. Like, literally. This is that sign right here is Teasley and then Sundown. I'm gonna show you that shit on the map. Anyway, I gotta go into this library right quick. Y'all be blessed. That's fun with flags. You know, in the Big Bang Theory and shit. You see the flag? You see it? Off of Sundown. In Houston, we got a problem. Sam Houston. Massive. Look at that shit. This is Sam Houston though. Elementary. Across the street from Ellison Park. Go look up that word. Fun with flags today. We got a problem at the mass. Anyway. You see the stars on that? I was gonna say something else, but I'll keep my, what is that? Gecko green. Look at that. Go green, Gecko green. But anyway, I had seen a car and it had the license plate Versus on it. I tried to capture it, but I guess I was in the way, you know. So my video didn't take, apparently. But you know, it's all good because it wasn't really technically Versus because it couldn't fit on the license plate, but it was VERUS. And I was like, hi, that's like my mama name, Venus, you know, because it's in us or whatever, love is what I'm saying. But it wasn't. And then I flipped the U in Versus or that license plate. It was like it could be because all they did was put a top on the end, you know, and put it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, because words are spells and stuff, you know. They just put a hook on the R. The R is a hook on the end, kind of, sort of. But anyway, I mean, I don't know how they did the goddamn alphabet, but then I flipped the U and made an N because now it's like it's in you. You know, love. You understand? But anyway, you probably don't because that's probably above your roots. But y'all be blessed though. I'm done talking about this shit. Right, it's fiber optic cables all on the goddamn ground. You see the toppers where they put a cap on it? I seen that shit. Anyway, I be trying to go in order and everything, but I started watching The Big Bang Theory, you know, and I gotta show y'all something on here. Trying to follow my divine timing and go in order of the flow of the universe, right? You know, the natural order and everything. I see my little pimple shit. This motherfucker big. But anyway, I gotta show y'all something on here. I'm watching The Big Bang Theory, and I've been mentioning The Big Bang Theory, you know, in my videos. So let me show y'all. So this is the first episode, season 1. You know, Sheldon, who is my favorite character in this movie, or show, sorry, you know, he is explaining to Penny, you know. Oh, Lord. Okay. So he's explaining to Penny what this is on the board, all these mathematical equations, right? Quantum theory. It says, he said it's a spoof of the Born-Oppenheimer approximation. You know, the Declaration approximation type shit. You hear me? But when you flip this, who down with OPP, right? You know me, right? So listen now. BOA is boa, like constrictor, like the snake and shit. Anyway, now born open, and then it looked like her. You know what I'm saying? HER, whatever. Him. You know that's the soul. You know when they sewing and shit. You know, I'm just showing y'all like these words or spells and everything like that, and this is like proving my theory. You see the RR? My theory on the born odd. You know, in the independent odd fellow, you know, because we odd, because I am born odd, you know. You hear me? Oh, shit, this is dope to the motherfucker. And I gotta point out, in the first couple of minutes, you know, when Sheldon and, what you call it, went up the stairs to meet Penny, they offered Penny to come over for lunch, and they were having Indian food. Didn't I just talk about the elephant man who got his hair cut off? The elephant guy, Ganesha, and stuff. You know, I'm just, because I'm going in order, you know. My videos are in order. You know, my steps are ordered. You hear me? Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to just let it go, because let it go and let God this. You hear me? Now I got a serious question. I'm watching Clash of the Titans, and he just got done fighting Medusa. Now the question is, Medusa was a woman that was full of snakes. Now, when I made a video yesterday about the Indians praising a god named Ganesha or something like that, which was a man, and head got chopped off and got replaced with a elephant with a trunk and stuff, like a snake head or whatever. And so in their history, what they do is build the elephant man god thing, whatever, and they engineer it into like a sand beautiful concrete, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. They paint it and everything. And when their holidays come around, they submerge it into water and it turns into sand, y'all. So this Medusa, who, when you look in her eyes, it turned into stone. See the meanings of these goddamn gods that everybody praising, because you know they put everything in the motherfucking blender and mix it all up and shit. And you know, just don't make sense to me. And I know what they do with the spells and the words and stuff and the letters and stuff. And I told y'all, if you ain't been watching, you need to go back and watch in prior videos what they do with alphabet. Because if you look at Medusa and you flip it, it turned into wed. So I'm gonna screenshot all this shit. But then the D can turn into a B and a P, right? So what I did was look at Medusa, flipped it into web, like the spider web and shit, you know. And then I took those words off and then left the words USA. So then I'm like, web USA. Wait a minute. I mean, I'm confused because this ain't adding up. Well, it is adding up, but you know, I'm just throwing the fucking obvious shit out in the goddamn universe. This is the university school and shit, state schools and you know, the count T's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they be putting stuff hidden in plain sight, and you know, they can't tell you, but it's obvious. And then what I know about the laws of nature and how it's flipping and stuff like that, and then I know who I am, like I said, and I know who I've been meeting because I know, you know, who crossed my paths and stuff like that, all have a meaning. Like, this shit is wild than a bitch. But let me show you Medusa flipped and mirror. Smack it up, flip it and rub it down. Oh no. Agging and everything, you know, they gotta smack it up, flip it and rub it down to Ganesha too. Flip the words, smack it up, rub it down, you know, the big G and shit. The game, the big game. The big game theory and shit. Yeah, bitch. Smack it up, flip it, and rub it down. Oh no. The word Perseus. I mixed it up because they put shit in the blender and stuff, and words are spelled. So it looked like it's peer, and then mirrored is deer, and then flipped is reed. And I just kept us, you know, because they peer us. You hear what I said? They deer us. And they read us. That's my last name, gang gang. Shout out. Hear me? You see my gays and shit? Because I ain't playing with them. And today is Wednesday the 3rd. You know, I know y'all seen in that screenshot, and one of them it said 3. You know, the Holy Trinity and shit like that, you know. Today is Wednesday too, and that's the 3rd goddamn day. Wednesday, you know, the hump day and shit, you know. I mean, duh, like this is, and then I'm, you know, 2, 3, 1 and 1, 2, 3 and this stuff. You know, I'm just saying, because, you know, I learned from Sesame Street and stuff, you know, my ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and everything. Point out I'm the 3rd child, and then I'm one of 3 sisters too. Just to let you know that, you know, I just say it, and I'm the middle finger too. The tangle where we and shit, you know. Say la vie, ooh la wee. Since we twirling around in a damn tornado and stuff like that, I do gotta add something real quick, cause you know my ex, the eye of the storm. With the web and shit, the Charlotte's web and stuff, you know. But anyway, you picked the wrong side, buddy. Gang gang. Keep going about this whole Clash of the Titans movie that I'm watching, but I'm gonna leave it there and, you know, leave it as it is, because it also is the T, which, you know, T is the Texas, T is for the Jesus Christ cross that he died on and all that stuff. You know, I'm just throwing that out there, because it just don't make sense. Since we in a tube reveal. And if you haven't been watching my videos, which you should, because I've been making a movie for like 3 years now, putting all these pieces of the puzzles together in divine timing and all that stuff. But, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Dang it. That's why they make these movies. This is one big hologram. And they try to create chaos to make it seem like you know who you know you are to be. You always find your way back home, especially when you get to heal from all of the issues that you and all of the generational curses that your family, like all these things you have to heal from in order to become who you know you are to be. I was promised something, and I know who I am, and I know what I needed to do, no matter what anybody said, no matter anybody watching my videos. I didn't care because I knew what I believed in and what I was told and what I seen. And I know what this is. This dream within a dream. Backwards walking dead. Hot air gas bloom bubble. Been saying that for years. This just proved it. Put the nail in the coffin, you hear me? Because we the maps. Literally. And that's that independent order of odd fellas type shit. Because we fell low. I was going to get to my promised land. You hear me? I got there. I'm there. By any means necessary. You hear me? Ooh, la, la, wee, wee. Since y'all want to believe people be landing on the moon and stuff like that, putting flags on the moon and everything. But you know what? The eagle has landed on the moon. You hear me? I showed you a little flag the other day too. Anyway, I'm done talking. I'm just done this time for real. So since they're in the alphabet, in the independent order, alpha order, there's a W, which is two U's. You and you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a female, and because there's a double me, it's a male on the other side. You hear me? And so since it's a W, double U, two a U, one's female, one's male. Now in this Clash of Titans, since we playing this shit, the male, the Indian Ganesha, that head was chopped off and the elephant got popped on that motherfucker. And then Medusa, who was so beautiful that they turned her ugly by putting her head, you hear me, full of snakes and shit. You hear me? But anyway, like I'm just pointing out the motherfucking obvious, And remember, I am a Gemini twin. So it's a male Gemini twin. That is. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, say control it because that's what the fuck. That's how I feel. Like I feel controlled, but I don't know. I don't know. That's just in my head, I guess. You hear me? Ah, shit. I mean, clearly, if I know who I am, I know who he is too, right? Because this is my world. So, you just living in it, type shit. Y'all were players on my stage and shit, Okay, I'm done talking.